Big news. The PS5 Pro reveal is happening tomorrow. Mark Cerny, the mastermind behind the PS5, will host a 9-minute technical presentation on the PlayStation YouTube channel. Set your alarms for September 10th at 8 a.m. Pacific Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and 4 p.m. British Summer Time to catch it live. This event will focus on the PS5 and its innovations in gaming tech. All eyes are on Mark Cerny and what he's about to unveil. Is it more power? New features? Something that pushes gaming technology even further? We'll find out soon enough. Mark Cerny, the lead architect behind the PS4 and PS5, is one of Sony's key figures when it comes to hardware development. When he steps onto the stage, it's almost always for something major in terms of hardware innovation. He's not the type to come out for a minor software update or a game announcement. He's all about the tech. The fact that Cerny is hosting a dedicated presentation tomorrow signals that Sony has something substantial to reveal, which aligns with the rumors swirling around the PS5 Pro. There's also speculation that the PS5 Pro might offer better backward compatibility performance, with older titles running smoother and looking better on the new hardware. This could entice a lot of players who want to revisit their favorite PS4 or even older PS titles. You need to know how big this is for Sony. The PS5 Pro is not just a mid-gen refresh. It's potentially a statement that Sony is committed to pushing the boundaries of what a console can do. And if Mark Cerny is on stage, you can bet it's going to be more than just a small upgrade. Firstly, short presentations keep the audience's attention and build hype more effectively. A 9-minute time frame forces them to be laser-focused, which means we'll probably get straight to the meat of the PS5 Pro. Its specs, capabilities, and unique features like spectral super resolution, PSSR. Mark Cerny is known for delivering technical details in a way that's both comprehensive and understandable, but the time limit means he'll likely focus only on the most crucial information. Secondly, this short format allows Sony to build anticipation for what's to come right after. It's highly likely that following Cerny's technical breakdown, they'll release a wave of new trailers, showcasing PS5 Pro Enhanced Games. This strategy gives them a 1-2 punch. First, they get the tech enthusiasts excited with the specs, then immediately hit them with visual examples of what those specs can do. Expect to see these trailers highlight enhanced versions of existing PS5 games, upcoming titles optimized for the PS5 Pro, and perhaps even a few surprises that leverage the new hardware's capabilities. Titles like Spiderman 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, DD2, and possibly even Black Myth Wukong could show off their enhanced graphics and improved frame rates on the PS5 Pro. Honestly, I just want to see fidelity mode running at 60 frames per second. That's the main selling point for me. That's a pretty fair expectation, am I right? If the PS5 Pro presentation is just the beginning, the rumored state of play on September 20th could be Sony's big moment to focus more on games, both for the holiday season and looking ahead into 2025. This makes sense strategically, especially after the hardware reveal. Sony will likely use the state of play to focus on upcoming titles slated for release in late 2024. This could include deeper dives into major games like Spider-Man 2 DLC, Worlverine gameplay trailer, and Final Fantasy VII Part 3. New game announcements. Sony knows how to keep the hype going, so it wouldn't be surprising to see some new announcements. Titles that are targeting early to mid-2025 will be shown, giving fans a glimpse into the next wave of PlayStation exclusives. This could range from sequels to beloved franchises, such as God of War or Horizon, to entirely new IPs that have been in the works for a while. I think this holiday season will definitely get at least a Spider-Man 2 DLC. At least that. The debate around the price and SSD size of the PS5 Pro is heating up, and it's understandable why. Even prominent leakers like Jeff Grubb and Tom Henderson have provided differing insights on what to expect. Here's a breakdown of what we know and my thoughts on the potential outcomes. The storage capacity of the PS5 Pro is one of the most contentious points. MLD mentioned that they saw a dev kit with a 2TB SSD, which could imply a higher-end model, or it might be a standard size. However, other insiders suggest that the PS5 Pro might come with a 1TB SSD as the base option. Why 1TB makes sense? Starting with a 1TB SSD could help Sony keep the initial price of the PS5 Pro relatively lower. Considering SSD prices, especially high-speed NVMe SSDs, a 2TB option could significantly increase the manufacturing cost. Standardization. The base PS5 also started with a similar storage size, 825GB usable. Sony might follow a similar model here, providing 1TB as the default, and allowing users to expand it later. Next-gen demands. With more demanding next-gen games, 2 terabytes could be a practical necessity rather than a luxury. Games like Call of Duty or Cyberpunk 2077 already eat up huge amounts of storage. If Sony wants to cater to the power user base that the Pro model is aimed at, 2 terabytes would be an attractive selling point. Pricing is where things get trickier. To remain competitive but still offer a substantial upgrade over the base PS5 model, Sony would likely aim for a price point that doesn't stray too far from the original launch price of the PS5. We'll talk about the pricing a bit later. Now, I want to bring to your attention something you should really care about, and I think not enough people are talking about it. Let's talk about the most hated people on the planet, the scalpers and the chaos they create during major console launches. Because if Sony opens up pre-orders for the PS5 Pro, you can bet your bottom dollar these guys will be out in full force. When the PS5 first dropped back in late 2020, it was a mess. Scalpers used bots to snag as many units as possible, turning around and selling them at ridiculously inflated prices, sometimes more than double the retail price. You'd see PS5s listed on eBay for upwards of $1,500, or even more. Meanwhile, Xbox Series X consoles were sitting on shelves, collecting dust. The demand was clear, and Sony's shortage wasn't just a problem, it was a feeding frenzy for scalpers. Regular gamers were left in the dust, scrambling to find stock, or settling for overpriced resale units. Why scalpers thrive? The issue is systemic. Retailers like Amazon, Walmart, and Best Buy have struggled to prevent bots from buying out all the stock. When you have a console as in demand as the PS5, or in this case potentially the PS5 Pro, scalpers see a gold mine. They invest in sophisticated bots that check out faster than any human could, and before you know it, the stock is gone in seconds. The sad truth is, unless there's a drastic change in how pre-orders are handled, the story might repeat itself for the PS5 Pro. What's the fallout? If scalpers take over the PS5 Pro's launch, it means most gamers won't get their hands on one for months. You'd be left staring at out-of-stock notifications, while scalpers flaunt their overpriced units on eBay and other resale sites. This not only screws over genuine fans, but also damages the brand's reputation. Sure, the scalpers profit, but it leaves a sour taste for the rest of us. And with PlayStation's hardcore fan base, that's not a risk Sony should be willing to take. Potential solutions? Sony could take a few steps to curb this issue, such as two-step authentication for purchases. This would ensure each order is tied to a unique customer account and can slow down bot activity. In-store purchases only. This could deter bots, though it isn't a perfect solution because it still leaves room for scalpers to physically buy out stock. Are you with me on this? I hope they don't open a pre-order page too soon, because if they do, you know how it's going to go down. Within minutes, bots clear the stock, and genuine gamers are stuck looking at insane prices on the resale market. Just like what happened with the PS5, we'll see another wave of frustration and outrage. Hopefully Sony has learned from that disaster and will put better measures in place this time around. But until we see it happen, I wouldn't hold my breath. Let's talk a bit more about the price, $550 to $600. If the PS5 Pro comes with a 1 terabyte SSD and minimal changes beyond improved GPU, CPU performance, we could be looking at a price in this range. Diskless version. I wish for at least a $649 to $699. If the PS5 Pro packs a 2 terabyte SSD disk version. Considering everything, my prediction is that the PS5 Pro will likely launch with a 1 terabyte SSD as the base model. This would keep the price more accessible, around the $600 to $650 USD mark. Will GTA 6 Trailer 2 be shown tomorrow? A new GTA 6 trailer would be the perfect surprise for Sony to pull out of the bag, especially with the rumored marketing deal between Rockstar and PlayStation. Given the scale and anticipation surrounding GTA 6, it makes sense for Rockstar to partner with Sony for such a massive reveal. This could be one of the biggest moments in gaming history, and Sony knows the weight it carries. With the state of play rumored for September 20th, right after the PS5 Pro reveal, it would be the ideal platform to showcase a second GTA 6 trailer. Think about it. Sony could dominate the gaming conversation for the rest of the year if they strategically drop major announcements back to back. The GTA 6 trailer, why now? If Rockstar is waiting to make a big splash, doing so at a Sony event makes complete sense. The timing lines up perfectly for a reveal that could capture the attention of millions of gamers worldwide. Sony would want to capitalize on the buzz of their hardware announcements to draw eyes to the biggest game reveal of the year. It would be a monumental moment. Imagine the PS5 Pro showcase, followed by a black screen, the Rockstar logo, and then boom, GTA 6. While it feels like the stars are aligning for a GTA 6 reveal, Rockstar could still decide to hold back, opting for a standalone reveal or a later showcase where they control the narrative. Rockstar loves to build anticipation, and they might want to drop a new trailer closer to an official release date announcement. But then again, with Sony's State of Play likely to be the most watched gaming event of the year, why not strike while the iron is hot?